Okay, in this video, I'm going to put this Noco plug port, AC plug port, on this into the location of this trail rated badge. Then I'm going to run the cable behind here into the engine bay through this wire way right here that runs along the top of the engine bay all the way across, and then finally end up over here in the battery bay. And then I'm going to plug in my battery maintainer to keep the battery topped off when the car is sitting for multiple days. I've already started the job, so I'm going to show you how to do this. Your toolkit, you've got a Torx, a smaller Torx bit will fit these bolts here to take this section here off. So I've already done that. I've already taken the bolts out. I'm just putting it back in here just to show for example. But once you get these four bolts out, there's two short ones on the bottom, two longer ones on top. Once you get these bolts out, then all this needs to do is just pull on this, and that will come right off of there. Might have to lift up on this top piece a little bit. And then that's it. That comes off. Let's set that aside. And if you look behind the fender, there's a gap right here, and that's where the cord's gonna come up through. And behind there's, I'll show you later, once I get this panel off, or at least pulled out, I'll be able to show you. Behind this, there's another hole in the inner body that's about 2 1/4 inches, maybe 2 1/8 inches in diameter, right directly behind this badge. And then below that, there's another smaller hole. We're going to put this is about 1.9 inches in diameter, so we're going to put that through a 2-inch hole that I need to drill behind this badge with a hole saw. I've got that down here, 2-inch hole saw. And then we're going to run the cable through. We're going to run this into the 2-inch hole that I put into the behind here, through the 2 1/8 inch hole, which is inside the inner body, and then run the cord back out the smaller hole, which is just underneath it, and then route it up through here, back underneath this weather stripping here, and through the wireway to the battery compartment. So I'll go ahead and pause the video to get some of these bolts removed. I can show you what I'm going to remove here. It's going to be one here, possibly this one here. There's a longer one right here, one here, and then there's one right here. And if you open the door, there's one here and another one right here. And there's also some on the bottom side of the fender as well that bolts in through your welded flange here. And so you also have to remove your rock rails. If you have any rock rails, you have to remove those as well. But there's another bolt right here and a bolt right here that bolts the fender to the vehicle. So I'm going to go ahead and then once you get those removed, you'll be able to pull this out to be able to access behind it. So I'm going to go ahead and get some more bolts out, and then I'll go ahead and finish or continue the video. Okay, I took all the bolts out except for this one. I'm going to leave that one tight, and I'm going to leave the one up here on the top tight as well, which is right here. That way, when I drill into this fender isn't rattling around. It's nice and sturdy to allow the give it rigidity. Next thing I'm going to do is remove this trail rated badge, and I'm going to do that with this panel tool. It's plastic. I also ran a file over the top edge to make sure there's no burrs or anything that's going to scratch the paint. And then I've already removed this. I just put it back on there because it's sticky. So basically what I did is I pushed this in behind here, and you'll have to push pretty hard, but just make sure that you're not, make sure you're behind the badge, and then you just basically pull like that until it comes off. As you can see, I've already started my drilling as well. And then there's a little small slot right here. I had to open up the bottom here with a 1/4-inch bit. And use that 1/4-inch bit or the 1/4-inch hole as a guide for the bit that's in my hole saw, which is also 1/4-inch. And then basically you're going to ride along the bottom of that slot. It's basically an elongated slot, but it's off center. It's higher to the top end. So you'll want to run it along the bottom end of that slot as a guide, and then go ahead and drill your 2-inch hole in the fender. All right, I'm going to pause it, and then we'll go ahead and get that hole drilled and go from there. Okay, you got the hole drilled in there. As you can see, that hole behind it is the same size, a little bit bigger than the hole I just put in there, in the inner body. So there's plenty of room to get that plug through there. And then, I'm not sure if you can see it, once we get the fender pulled out, you'll see there's another hole below that we can pull the cord back through. So I'm going to get these 2 bolts out here and the other one back here so we can pull this fender out, and then we'll go from there. Okay, I got the top bolt out, this bolt out over here, and I put me a small piece of 2x4 just at this point right here, just to hold the fender out a little bit, because there's still more bolts underneath behind this fender that bolts the fender to the inner body. And I don't want to go through all the hassle of taking the fender off. All these clips will be broken if you pull it out, and you have to replace all the clips. I don't want to go through all that, so I'm just going to put a 2x4 in here to pull that out just enough so we can get, if you can see that hole down in there, we need to get the hole or the cord go into here, and then fish it out that hole here, and then run it up back behind where this 2x4 is at to go into the engine bay. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I only have 2 hands, so I can't hold the camera and do it at the same time. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this. I'm going to run that cable through there, and then I've already test fitted it. It fits great, and then we'll go from there. Okay, I did have to cut the end of the cord off because that hole is smaller than the cord end was, and I'm just going to go ahead and wire on a new end once I get it over into the engine, into the battery compartment, but that's fine. So anyway, I'll go ahead and put a curl on this. That way it will hopefully be able to fish through that big hole and out that small hole more easily. Okay, I've got this in here, got it fished out the hole, I got it ran up through here, and I'm running it right along where this wire that's already here, the stock wire, runs through here. There's a little gap in the weather stripping right here. And then I'm running across the top of the engine bay. I'm going to go ahead and pull these covers off. You can see this. There's just a little bit of clips right here that clip on. You know, the screwdriver underneath there and unclip those all the way across. And you should be able to remove this cover and then run the wire with the wiring harness that already runs through there. You can see the wiring harness going into there right there. And it looks to be plenty of excess room in there with the stock wiring harness, so we shouldn't have a problem. And then the 6-foot, get the 6-foot version. There's multiple lengths of wire with this Noco. I'll put the link in the description, but we need the 6-foot length. Right now it just makes it, but where that plug isn't all the way into the fender yet, so I think we can get another inch at least. So he'll be just hanging out the end of this wireway right here. We'll go ahead and put an end on there. I've got that purchased already. You can get that at your local hardware store. And you can either get a 3-prong or a 2-prong. It's a three conductor wire, but my battery maintainer is only 2-prong, so I just bought me a 2-prong. And then I'll just go ahead and wire that onto there, plug that in, and we're good to go. Alright, so I'll go ahead and finish the job up, and I'll show you the results when I'm done. Okay, change of plans. These clips here seem to be a bit stubborn at getting unclipped, and I don't want to break anything. I mean, I probably manipulate this enough to get that tab out of there. But there's probably more on the bottom, and there's multiple of these clips all the way across the engine bay, like every 3 to 4 inches, as you can see. And it's going to be a bit more stubborn and hassle than it's worth. So what I did is I just got a fishing line. Basically, it's what it is a dryer vent brush, fiberglass rod. But I mean, you could probably use anything that's sturdy and about that diameter. And I just pushed it right through the wireway, and it comes out the other side right there. And so all you do is just wire the or get some wiring tape and tape your wire onto here, and then just pull it right through. So that's probably the easiest way to do it. I'll go ahead and do that, and then we'll show you the finished results. Okay, the job's finished. This is what it looks like. Just a little bit bigger than the badge used to be. Maybe another ½ inch to 3/4 of an inch bigger. These screws actually screw into the recessed portion of where that badge used to be. So we're just probably maybe ½ inch bigger in diameter. So, and then got a weatherproof cap here, and then there's a plug underneath it. And all you gotta do is get your cord end and just plug it in, and that's all there is to it. And here's my charger. As you can see, it's lit up and charging the battery now. So just tuck that down in here next to the battery, real nice snug area, and we're good to go. So hope you guys found this helpful. If you feel like doing the job yourself, it's not that hard, and there's no need to open the hood anymore to access the onboard charger. All you do, just plug it in. It takes about 20 seconds or so, and you're good to go for the next few days or winter season or whatever. So hope you found this helpful.